And if you know how to solve absolute value inequalities, then x is greater than 1 or x is less than 1. Negative 1. Okay? So if x is greater than 1 or less than negative 1, this expression will be positive. This expression will be positive. So when you say here x approaches 1 minus, x approaches x approaches negative 1 minus. Negative 1 minus, so x is less than negative 1. x less than negative 1. This expression will be positive. يعني هذا اللي تحت راح يكون positive. So we write 0 plus.
Okay.
If, for example, in part 1 we had x squared minus 4. x squared minus 4, this is quadratic. X squared minus 4, it's quadratic. You know you know the sign of a quadratic expression. Right? The roots, negative 2 and positive 2. X squared minus 4. The coefficient of x squared is positive, so outside the roots is positive, between the roots is negative. So when we have to find limit as x approaches negative 2 minus, the denominator or x squared minus 2 was positive. So we write 0 plus.
Okay.
Okay? This is
Okay.
the
Thank you.
أستاذ اللي كتبهم تحت بالأزرق إذا عنا نحن نمشيه minus 1 minus، يعني نحن لازم ناخدها minus 1.1 بتصير minus 1.9 minus 1 تطلع minus 2.1.
لا absolute value.
وشو بتطلع لبرا؟
What's the absolute value of negative 1.1?
1.1.
شو شغلة الابسوليوت فاليو؟
اوكي فهمت عليك، بنخليها يعني بالهيدي الابسوليوت فاليو.
اكيد.
خلص ثانك يو.
انا حطيت نون فيرتيكال اسمتوش ما بعرف سايبه.
Write it please.
Plus 3 minus 1.
استاذ بس فيك تعيد اخر وحده انه راحت الكهرباء عندي. هاي الليمت اخر وحده تحت.
هاي؟ Limit as x approaches 1 minus. Okay. Limit as x approaches 1 minus. Replace x by 1. 2 times 1, 2, plus 3, 5.
1.1
over 1 minus 1, 0. So you get 5 over 0. Number over 0 is infinity.
طيب هو بالازرق شو هن اللي كتبهم؟
I'm not sure. No, number less than 1, slightly less than 1. Take 0.9. Replace x by 0.9. Absolute value of 0.9 is 0.9. Minus 1, you get negative 0.1. So negative. So for that reason here I wrote 0 minus. Now positive divide negative is negative. So the answer is negative. Hey, هون negative 1 minus. اللي كنت عم بحكي لك اياها قبل شوي. Take a number slightly less than negative 1. So negative 1.1. Replace x by negative 1.1. So absolute value of negative 1.1 minus 1. The answer is positive 0.1. So here we wrote 0 plus. Positive divide positive is positive. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Can I erase? Yes? May I erase?
أستاذ أنا خلصت.
Okay. بارت 3 اشتغلوا على السريع شوي ونروح للأوبليك اسيمتوت. In part 3
انت نزلت
f of x is equal to x plus 3.
طب ليش ما انقطعت الكهرباء؟ مش فاهمين.
يا اخي حنين علينا. شو فاهم؟
انا تعودت كل يوم الساعة 10 اخذ بريك.
عيد
ما هو هيك ما بعرف.
يلا بسيطة
كل شيء الحمد لله عنا كل شيء بالعكس. هلا الدنيا طواعين برا والله بعد الكهرباء جاي.
ايوه والله.
وبالصيفية تطلع ناس مثل نوتات.
ايوه.
اسمع استاذ، لا عندنا جابوها الكهرباء على 9:55 قطعوها على 9:57
بزيادة دقيقتين.
أنا معي أمل اليوم إنه ما فيش ساعات.
يلا هذا الشيء عملوا شوية طولوا بالكم. طيب نجي لهيدي horizontal asymptote و one remark. You have radical x. Inside the radical should be greater than 0. Radical x inside the radical should be greater than or equal to 0. واحد. اثنين. Domain radical x minus 1 should not be equal to 0. That means that radical x should not be equal to 1. Square both sides. It means that x should not be equal to 1. So here, if you are going to write the domain of this function, positive numbers but not 1. In here, إذا بدكم تتذكرون هون اللي اشتغلناهم. Greater than or equal to 0 but not 1. طيب, for the horizontal asymptote, you have to find limit as x approaches not a positive negative infinity, we have only positive infinity. ما في positive negative infinity, في بس positive infinity. ليه؟ لأنه لك وين الدومين؟ We don't have negative. So only a positive infinity. In fact, it is the limit. X approaches positive infinity. X over radical x. If you rationalize the denominator, multiply by radical x by radical x. I'm going to write it. Times radical x and here times radical x. Which is equal to limit x radical x over x as x approaches positive infinity. Which is equal to simplify x with x. It is the limit of radical x as x approaches positive infinity, which is equal to infinity. So limit at infinity is not equal to a number. Yeah, just one moment. Limit at infinity is not a number. So no horizontal asymptote. Yes, Joe.
ملصقين صح؟ ملصقين؟ حسيتك طف بنحط
Yes, sir.
الكهرباء على فرن الفرن.
ضروري نحط الدومين استاذ.
ضروري نحط الدومين
قلت لك انه يمكن بيلصقوا.
للفيرتيكال. ولا لك شغله خليني خبرين قلت لكم اياها بالمره. بالفانكشنز and the functions الصباح الخير للفانكشنز هي الدومين. In every exercise functions, you have one of two things. Either you will be given the domain يعني بيقول لك let f be the function defined on كذا كذا, or if you are not given the domain, the first part will be find the domain of the function. The first part will be find the domain.
اوكي بس
أول شغلة بيسألك عنها الدم.
بهوديك ما في دومين، ما حطينا الدومين.
بل ما كناش عم نحط الدينومينيتور not equal to 0. مش أصلا الفيرتيكال اسيمتوت كيف كنا عم نحط؟ ما كنا عم نحط الدينومينيتور equal to 0. يعني we are finding the domain.
اوكي بس لخبطتني هون لأن بهالطريقة حطيناه.
لأنه I wrote it domain is equal to كذا to this. And I wrote it بس in the previous part I may write a domain is equal to R except positive negative 2, or that was in part 1. In part 2 R except positive negative 1. It means negative infinity negative 1 union negative 1 1 union 1 infinity. You could write it in this way. Okay. Now for the vertical asymptote,
اوكي استاذ.
limit not equal to 1, limit x approaches 1 minus, let's say, of f of x, that's equal to 1 plus 3 4, 1 minus 1 0, number over 0 is infinity, and to choose a number slightly less than 1, take 0.9, the answer will be negative. Radical 0.9 minus 1 is negative, so negative infinity. Limit as x approaches number is infinity, then x equal this number is a vertical asymptote. Here also I'm giving an example where we have vertical asymptote, we don't have horizontal asymptote. Okay? I'll give you a break, only 5 minutes. 10:15 sharp, at 10:15 we are going to continue. We will start solving exercise number 4, which is about the oblique asymptote.
اوكي
Okay? Sharply, 10:15. Okay?
10:16.
15.
يا أستاذ ما راح دقيقة.
انت روحت.
بدي لحق